This is Ron Brown again. I'm recording this video on July 14th, 2022. And once again, this is my standard risk disclaimer. Any stock index or ETF mentioned in this presentation is not a recommendation to buy or sell. All trading strategies are used at your own risk. For those of you who are new to HGSI and don't know anything about it, this is what's called a warehouse view, and all of these fields can be, or columns, can be inserted into the view. And I have this set up a certain way, and I'll go through that. I just want to show you how this is accomplished. All of these columns are from this information over here. For example, if I want intraday information, I just click on one of these and it's transferred over here. There is a filter attached to this view, and this is just a basic filter right here, but it is days since the 10-10 crossover. I'm going to stick with that same view that I used in the previous video. So it's just looking for stocks that are crossing over today. 10-10 is the volume point of control. It's 10, what we call 10 buckets in 10 days. So it's a short-term crossover indicator, which I use in a lot of views. And then the combo ranking is what drives the best stocks to the top of the list intraday. What I use here is something I call strong momentum intraday effort versus result, and it takes into account the distance. The low of the day divided by the last price is weighted at 50%. The intraday range is weighted at 33%, and the one-day change is weighted at 16.7%. And what that does is it gives me a list that is showing me strength. Notice that this is weighted the most at 50%. It says that BLTE is up 13.72% from its intraday low, at trading at nearly 100% of its daily range, and the price change is 10.62%. Now, I'm just going to quickly go across here. These are Wyckoff indicators. Notice there's nothing in this volume because we need 120 days, and this is a I believe this is an IPO. We'll find out in a minute. The spread was narrow yesterday, and the close was very low. This is last night's information. The days since the 3 crossed the 6, if you put your arrow right up here, it tells you what this is, days since the 3 crossed the 6. 9 days ago, 0 is the crossover day. And this is days down. This is the days since the VPOC crossover. 0 because it's crossing over today, and the intraday date is today, and the time, and I went through this already, the volume's lighter than the 90-day moving average volume. Here's the 90-day moving average volume, the industry percentage price change, and some other things. I'm just going to talk to these things right here, though. So let's bring this chart up. First thing, this is a screen 10-day crossover based upon the VPOC. And you can see the VPOC. If you look down here, it pulled back for a couple of days and then it crossed yesterday. Remember, this up here is yesterday's information. But because it's yesterday's information, that's not a problem, because the combo is bringing the best stocks to the top of the list that meet this criteria. Now, if you look down here, like I pointed out, it was down yesterday and crossed. The 3 is above the 6, and it's remained that way for, 9 days? 8 plus 0 plus today, so it would be 10 days. So here's the pullback, and here's the move up. Let's look at the other information. Notice how strong the biotech index has been. Group rank of 95. It's been moving up. This line represents the group. So the group's moving up, the stock's moving up. What do we have down here? We have 5 and 10 day pocket pivots. This is from Gil Morales and Chris Casher. So the blue lines indicate strong buying strength. Look down here where it was taking off. The 3 had crossed the 6 down here. These histograms represent the 3 crossing the 6, either up or down. This is a micro trend. This is a short-term trend, 6 and 18-day crossovers. This is an intermediate term trend, which is 18 versus 50, and here's the volume point of control. This is last night's relationship of the price to the moving average averages that I use. I'm going to bring up a different chart because this one is not showing the 100 and 200. So let's go to a different chart. Oh, let's try this one. Riot blockchain. This is related to cryptos. You can see that it's got all the moving averages now. Let me see if I can find one that's up. Everything. I'm going to pause this for a second. Here's a chart that is up. Deco New Energy, DQ. You can see yesterday the volume was above average, the spread was above average, and it closed near the high of the day. It actually pulled back. The 3 went below the 6, but the VPOC 1010 crossed over yesterday, so let's look at it. So you can see the pullback right here, but if you look down here, this was yesterday where the volume point of control went from negative to positive. These renewable energy stocks have been getting chopped around with the market, but you can see the group rank is 97, and it's strong. It's not as strong as the biotech group, but this information is right here, is here in the chart. But okay, this is yesterday's information. If you look here, it's above average, and closed very high. Now if I click on to today, this gives me this current information. Volume is low. That would read low for today or currently. Spreads above average, and the close is very high, which represents this candle as it is today. Also, you can see that the long-term trend's up, the medium is up, and the short is down. I don't use the random walk trends. I just use the VPA trends here. So what do we have here? We have a stock that's in an uptrend, and you can tell that the fan is in an uptrend because it says yes, and what that means is that the 200 is below the 100, both are below the 50, and here's the 18, and here we got the crossover yesterday, and we're also getting a 3 crossing the 6. Hard to see here, it isn't quite through it, but that's what this histogram here represents. But this is a problem. Look at the volume today. It's very, very light. This chart is designed to encompass much of what's up here in the warehouse view, plus the moving averages to put the stock in context. So what's the context of this stock? The stock is trending up. The group right now is flat, but it's still strong, but flat. But this stock had an effort to rise VPA flag yesterday and a bullish candle today. Now if I put this on yesterday's, notice that the information about the VPA flag is in here. You put it anywhere on here and it's going to tell you what that VPA flag meant. Back here, high volume up bar closing on the high indicates strength. Here is an up thrust bar. It just means that there's been a lot of buying in here and it may need to pause to refresh. That's exactly what happened. Expansion to kind of contraction to expansion, and then it's really been in this contraction mode. It's just looking for direction, but the trend remains up. I often use the 3 crossing the 6 as a buy signal, and I think that could possibly happen today. It looks like it's getting very close. Let's just zoom in on this and take a look. Well, it looks like it is. It's right on it. So by the end of the day, now it's still under it. Needs a little more oomph to get through there. But this is a a good setup now, especially if this group starts moving up again. So let's do a quick review. These columns right here are represented down here. The 3 crossing the 6 is represented by these 2 columns. These 2 columns represent the volume point of control. The moving averages are on the chart. Here's a relationship to the 3, 6, 18, and so on. All of the VPA information is right here. The group information is here. And just about everything you need. Now, I'm not going to go into any more detail about this right now, because when I go through some of the user smart groups and prospecting techniques, I'll point all of this out to you as I look at different stocks. That's it for this video. We're just getting started, but thanks for listening.